start with you. What in the next year, what should be done about the tri-area sewer?
Great question. It's one of the most important questions for District 2 in Jefferson County. In the next year, first we'll be hiring a firm to do the preliminary engineering. From that, we will be able to have that good faith estimate that you need when you go out and do a local improvement district. The numbers that you heard, the reason our consultant had such difficulty answering a question, how much is it going to cost, is because at this stage of planning, any numbers that you get are going to be plus or minus 40%. They're that broad. And so when you hear $50 million, which is what I heard that meaning, that was the upper level. They would rather tell you a high number and come than give you a low number and say, whoa, you told us it was going to cost us less. 15, we're going to see that such a plan grant for ecology. And that's because amendments that provide water is almost drinkable, used on bulk, can implement Wickham Creek, the aquifer to be drawn out later. It has a lot of possibilities. And it is a standard that everybody's moving to. So we're going to be ahead of the curve. And I can't, listen, you said 1 year? Okay, at that time, we'll be ready to start looking at methods of assessment and how we're going to go out to the community and do local improvement districts in different areas, probably within the year after that. So 2010 is when we start digging, and probably closer to the end of 2010. These things are complex. They take time, but I've got experience doing this. I was a PUD commissioner when we started the Quilcene, Maristone Island, water systems, and the Beckett Point Sewer Project. And I had a role in each of those. Oh, my time's up. But as a county commissioner, I helped move those all forward.
Well, I agree with David that the sewer needs to go forward. 20 years from now, we're going to look at it and think that it's so great we were able to have businesses, keep them all close by here, maintain the rural character. The one thing that I would suggest, all the planning is going forward. That's happening anyhow. But in my year, we would have the figuring out how to pay for it going on immediately. It's nice to say that the $20,000 or whatever the price is going to be, the assessment will have to benefit from it, but that doesn't help the person who's going to have to actually put that out of pocket. And so I've been, having these 3 a.m. creative financing kind of things, just being me, laying awake. And I thought about how my little house, 1,000 square foot cracker box over in Hadlock by the library, it was originally a farm home house. And when we refinanced, when we started making too much money, then there was a lien put against it. Non-interest bearing, no payment due. So it just sat there until the house sold. So that kind of thing is the kind of thing I'd like to see us look into. Ways that it can benefit the people without just, strangling them now.
Richard.
Well, Sandy's covered a very good point, and that was one of the things I mentioned. There are people who will not be able to afford this, and you do the math, $60 million divided by, I think there's 18 households right now that are on water, and the build out is 4,000. That works out pretty pricey. Biggest thing would be to start, as David has said, with the planning, but also start working with local contractors. We have a lot of contractors here and a lot of very good expertise locally here in Jefferson County. I would want to reach out to the people who work here in Jefferson County so the money stays here. It doesn't go to some King County or Olympia contractor. I'd look for the people here in Jefferson County. And as far as financing, there can be grants looked into for people who are totally unable to pay for it. People who, as I've mentioned before, have already installed septic systems should be able to have them installed down the line someplace and not have to hook up for some extended period of time. And I would look into those elements there. I believe that's part of the plan already, is to have a staggered hookup period that I read in the handout they had. And that's a good idea. But the biggest thing is I think we planned too much, and it was $60 million, is what that fellow said. And the Peninsula Daily News reported it's 50. So what I would do, essentially, is to look at the plan, and if the plan already existed 4 years ago, pick up what's there that's usable, and not have some grandiose plan that's going to cost 4 times what it did before. That's where I would start initially, and immediately I would take a look at that and get involved in that personally as your commissioner. Thank you.